Okay, so you want to own a nightclub. You find a cool space, you hire a DJ, you crack open the doors, and watch the money pour in, one overpriced vodka soda at a time. How hard could it be? Well, here's the first number you should know. 60% of nightclubs close within their first year, and by year 5, 80% are gone. Not because people stopped loving nightclubs, because owning one costs a lot more than anyone tells you before you sign that lease. So let's actually run the numbers. From the moment you sign your first check to the moment you either make it or close your doors for good. Step 1, you need a space. Not just any space. You need a location with foot traffic, sound-tolerant neighbors, parking, and the right zoning. Because not every building is legally allowed to operate as a nightclub. In a major city, New York, LA, Miami, prime nightclub locations start at around $45,000 a month in rent. And most landlords want 1 to 3 months deposit up front. That's $135,000 before construction even begins. And before you even swing a hammer, you enter permit hell, city inspectors, health departments, noise ordinances. You will spend months paying $45,000 in rent on an empty space while waiting for a piece of paper from the city. Time is literally money bleeding out of your account. Then you renovate. And this isn't a coat of paint. Soundproofing so your neighbors don't sue you. Fire suppression systems. ADA compliance. HVAC. Electrical upgrades capable of handling massive lighting and sound rigs. A basic fit-out for a medium venue runs $400,000 to $800,000. Then there's the sound system and lighting rig. A professional club sound setup, subs, amps, monitors, digital mixers, starts at $100,000. Intelligent lighting, lasers, fog machines, another $50,000 to $100,000. In a quota state like California or New York, you might have to buy an existing liquor license from another venue. Those licenses can cost anywhere from $50,000 to over $500,000 cash before you pour a single drink. Plus furniture and VIP booth fit-out, another $100,000. Add it all up, and a properly built nightclub in a major city costs $1 million to $2.5 million before your first customer walks in. Let's call our baseline investment $1.2 million. $1 million, and the doors are still locked. You haven't made a single dollar of revenue yet, okay? You survived the build-out. The doors are open. Now come the operational costs that chew up your revenue every single month. So you've spent $1.2 million. You have the nicest club in the city. But here's the terrifying reality. A nightclub is essentially a massive manufacturing plant that only operates 10 to 12 hours a week. Think about that math. You pay rent for 730 hours every single month, but you only make money for 40 of them. A mid-sized nightclub in a major market faces fixed costs of around $60,000 to $90,000 a month. Rent, utilities, insurance, trash, security system, software. You start every month minus $75,000 before paying a single staff member. Let's talk about DJs. A local DJ costs a few $100s a night, but local DJs don't fill a 1,500 capacity room on a rainy Thursday. And names cost money. A headline act will run you $5,000 to $50,000. Top-tier international DJs can demand $100,000 or more per appearance, plus travel, accommodation, and technical riders. Those extras add thousands more on top of the booking fee. Security is non-negotiable. A proper security contract, enough guards to actually manage your crowd safely, runs $10,000 to $15,000 a month. You cannot cut corners here. One incident, one lawsuit, one revoked license, and you're done. Alcohol is where your margins live. But wait, how do you actually get beautiful people in the door? You hire promoters. Promoters are the highly paid mercenaries of nightlife. You pay them $20 to $50 for every single person they bring in, plus a massive 20% cut of the VIP tables they sell. A top-tier promoter can make $5,000 a week. That's cash straight out of your margin before the DJ even hits play. The markup on spirits can be 1,000% over wholesale. A bottle of vodka that costs you $12 gets sold for $200. But here's the problem nobody talks about: shrinkage. Bartenders overpour, drinks get spilled, inventory goes unaccounted for. Shrinkage eats 5 to 25%, and that shrinkage? It brings us to the staffing nightmare. Managing a nightclub staff is like herding heavily caffeinated cats in the dark. Your bartenders are overpouring drinks for larger tips. Your bouncers are letting their friends skip the line for $20, and your waitresses turn over every 3 months. You are constantly hiring, constantly training, and constantly watching the security cameras like a hawk, just to make sure your own team isn't robbing you blind. Then there are the hidden operational taxes. ASCAP and BMI music licensing fees. You literally have to pay thousands of dollars a year just for the legal right to play commercial music loudly in your venue. And let's talk about insurance. Nightclub liability insurance is extremely high because you're mixing loud music, total darkness, and heavy alcohol. One single slip and fall claim from a drunk guest and your premiums double overnight. And then there's the 2 a.m. cliff. In most cities, you're legally required to stop serving alcohol at 2 a.m. Your entire revenue engine switches off. You have a 5-hour window on Friday and Saturday nights to make money. 5 hours, 2 nights, that's your window. If something goes wrong on a Saturday, bad weather, a power outage, a brawl, you just lost your most important revenue night, and your bills don't adjust. All right. Let's talk about how the money actually comes in. Revenue Stream 1, the bar, cocktail sales, carry a 75 to 85% gross margin. In a high-end nightclub, VIP bottle service can account for up to 80% of total revenue. A table minimum might be $2,000 guaranteed spend before anyone even arrives. A bottle of vodka that cost you $30 wholesale goes for $400 at the table. VIP upselling increases the average spend per guest by up to 200%. Then there's your cover charge, $20 to $50 per head. On a good Saturday with 400 people, that's $8,000 to $20,000 at the door before anyone buys a drink. Then there's the influencer tax. To keep the club looking hot and relevant, you constantly have to comp tables. That means giving away $1,000 in free alcohol to local celebrities and Instagram models. So the real paying customers think your club is the absolute place to be. It's classified as a marketing expense, but it's hard physical inventory that you paid for that generates zero direct revenue at the register. The bar is doing its own work the entire night. On a truly great Saturday night, a successful club can gross $50,000 to $100,000 in a single night. That sounds incredible until you remember what it costs to get there. Smart clubs diversify beyond the weekend. Ladies' nights, themed events, private event bookings for corporate parties and birthdays. Social media brand deals, merchandise drops, each one is a revenue layer that doesn't fully depend on the bar. Here's the brutal math. A well-run nightclub might clear a net profit margin of 10 to 15%. On $500,000 a month in revenue, that's $50,000 to $75,000 of profit. Which sounds great, until one bad month, one lawsuit, or one broken HVAC system wipes out 3 months of profit at once. Most clubs that survive don't see consistent profitability until 12 to 18 months in. During that entire runway, you're burning through working capital, and if you run out before the audience builds, it's over. And the list of famous clubs that burn through millions is long. And even if you succeed wildly, remember that nightclubs age in dog years. A great restaurant can stay popular for 20 years. A nightclub has an absolute maximum lifespan of about 3 to 5 years. Before the crowd gets bored and moves to the newer, shinier spot down the street, you have to constantly reinvest capital to reinvent the interior, completely rebrand, or desperately try to sell the venue before the inevitable decline hits hard. A 15% attendance drop on any given weekend can erase your entire weekly profit. The 5-year survival rate sits around 20%. 80% of nightclubs that open will be closed before their 5th anniversary. That is the industry data. So what separates the 20% who survive from the 80% who don't? The winners treat it like a data business, not a party business. They know their cost per night, their margin per table. They pre-sell VIP, they book talent 3 months out, they track shrinkage weekly. The winners pick a lane and own it, a clear identity, whether that's underground techno, high-end hip-hop, or Latin lounge. If you try to be everything to everyone, you become nothing to no one. Owning a nightclub costs over $1 million. Your entire revenue model runs on 2 5-hour windows per week. And 8 out of 10 people who try this go broke before year 5. Those are the numbers. So how do you actually win this rigged game? You build it, you hype it, you make it the hottest spot in town, and then you sell it. The smartest operators in the world don't hold on until the club inevitably dies. They sell the brand, the liquor license, and the lease to the next dreamer with deep pockets while the club is still at its absolute peak. That's the real exit strategy. Does that mean you shouldn't do it? No, it means you shouldn't do it blindly. If you have the capital, the stomach for risk, and the discipline to treat nightlife like high-stakes corporate finance, it can be one of the most lucrative businesses on earth. But if you're going and thinking the music plays, the money flows, and it runs itself, the numbers will find you. If you found this breakdown useful, leave a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.